71 trillion rupiah is the price tag for a blueprint that rewrites the relationship between the Indonesian state and its soil. Economists call this demand shock civilization. The government has become a giant market gravity, a centralized engine of structured demand that pulls the entire agricultural sector into its orbit. While the public debates the cost of milk and rice, a silent reorganization is underway. Feeding 80 million people through a daily mandate risks turning biodiverse, living villages into sterile, concrete-heavy production lines. A remote bureaucracy dictating the daily eating rhythm of an entire nation risks breaking the biological cycles of the land that grows the food. This budget serves as an ultimatum. We are deciding whether to extract cheap calories until the soil collapses or to find a way to let the land survive the machine. The mechanism of control relies on state-run digital platforms like Pavilion MBG. These OBs translate daily school lunch menus into direct algorithmic planting commands for rural farmers. Agrarian autonomy is replaced by digital quotas. Farmers stop planting based on the seasons or the health of their earth, and instead act as biological subcontractors, racing to fulfill a screen's demand. This creates crop synchronization. To hit daily calorie targets, a centralized menu forces thousands of farmers across a region to plant and harvest the exact same crop on the exact same schedule. That forced uniformity leads to monoculture risk, stripping the landscape of biodiversity, depletes soil nutrients, and starves native microorganisms, leaving massive synchronized crops vulnerable to sudden pest outbreaks. The state's digital dashboards flawlessly track daily calorie distribution on political billboards, but they have no way to see the delayed death of the soil ecosystem happening right beneath the surface. Optimizing agriculture strictly for digital logistics triggers an ecological overshoot. We extract resources faster than the earth can regenerate, borrowing against the future survival of the biosphere to make today's spreadsheets look successful. A hidden loophole exists within the system to prevent corporate industrialization: the nutritional service units, known as SPPG. These work on short-distance kitchen logic. Instead of massive central factories, each kitchen feeds about 3,000 children and operates under a legal mandate to absorb ingredients strictly from its immediate local radius. This geographical lock removes the pressure from massive monoculture. Local farmers can maintain biodiversity, planting diverse indigenous crops that naturally thrive in their specific soil. Proximity makes a true circular economy possible. Organic waste from a school kitchens doesn't go to a landfill. It is pulled back by the village cooperative, composted, and fed directly back into the local earth. A specific regulation, Per Press 115/2025, acts as a legal shield. It explicitly blocks massive agribusiness corporations from hijacking the supply chain, as long as the local village cooperatives can fulfill the demand. If these safeguards hold, this decentralized network redirects state capital away from corporate logistics to finance a localized ecological transition, preserving the autonomy of the agrarian village. The sudden influx of state capital instantly forces a divide in the village economy, separating those the system can see from those it ignores. The Mitra farmers sit inside the village cooperative's lifeboat. They enjoy guaranteed state contracts and access to bank capital because they can afford to pass strict, high-cost hygiene certifications. Outside are the independent farmers.
Digitally marginalized and lacking administrative access, they are left outside the algorithm, forced to guess what the market needs. These independents fall into the overproduction trap. When they accidentally harvest the same crop simultaneously with the algorithmically synced Mitra farmers, supply surges past demand, flooding traditional markets and plummeting prices to zero. The system also faces internal sabotage. Local cooperatives can easily devolve into lazy brokers, secretly buying cheap corporate imports and slapping a local label on them, just to clear their administrative checklists. When a village adopts a corporate mask, farmers shift from sovereign guardians of the ecology to expendable gig workers feeding a state calorie machine. If data sovereignty is hoarded by a bureaucratic elite, and the soil is chemically exhausted within 20 years just to meet today's quotas, there will be no living land left to feed the nation tomorrow.